Welcome to the Run Radio podcast. My name's Trina, and my guest for the Artist Spotlight is Karl Eland. Welcome.
Hello, Trina. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. Thank you. Pretty good.
So you sent me some new music. I was glad to add it to my playlist, but tell me a little bit about your musical journey.
Well, I started writing songs when I was about 18, 19, 20, and I've been on quite a journey ever since that. I first started playing in my hometown, really, just playing at open mic nights and things like that. And eventually that led on to writing my own material. And then I branched out into my two cities that are Manchester. I live in a town which is directly in the middle of Manchester and Liverpool, which have got quite a big musical heritage. And then from there, I went to London for a while, lived in London on and off, and played, all the boys in London, lots of famous venues. And then I came back for a while to my hometown, and then I went to Nashville for a while. So I went over to your country for a while, which was at the time of my life. And then after picking up lots of information and lots of tips in Nashville, I came back and set about the task of trying to get all my music recorded then, so that the music industry had obviously evolved by then, and you can do it yourself kind of thing. You can get your music on Spotify and Apple. And so it took me 2 or 3 years, really around the start of the the COVID era, as I call it. I've been sort of, trying to record all my material, and now I'm just starting to put it online and release all my music. So it's all led to here right now.
What did you think of Nashville?
Nashville was absolutely brilliant. The main thing I think of Nashville, it was very hot.
Yeah.
The temperature. I mean, I live in a really sort of cold part of northern England. So the minute I stepped out of the airport, the heat was like, wow, I've not experienced this before, This is hotter than Spain or Italy or anything. And this is like 9 o'clock at night, So it was very warm. But yeah, Nashville itself was fantastic. Everybody was so friendly there. I couldn't believe how nice people were. I ended up playing at the Bluebird Cafe, which is a famous venue in Nashville, and lots of other boys. And I joined an organization called the Nashville Songwriters Association.
Okay.
And they were really helpful. I had a place to rehearse in the day, and they did like nights where you could pitch your music to publishers, which was good. And I met, and they gave like talks and open evenings, and it was a very social thing, which was about songwriters being able to further their career. And it was quite a cheap membership to join for the year. And I'm still I still am in touch with them now, and you can do everything via Zoom from here. You can still pitch to publishers and everything. So yeah, if anyone lives in Nashville, I would definitely recommend the NSAI, they're called. Yeah.
Very cool. So have you always done music full time, or or even do you now? Has that been a progression? What's that like?
Right. Well, I've actually been to university, and then I went back to university and did an MA in online journalism. So basically, I've been able to run my music alongside working from home, which has been great. So my real job, if you like, is writing for I basically write content for internet providers, people who create websites or want websites, but the actual written part of the website I do using my journalistic training. So and over time it's become 50-50. So now I would say, and I'm hoping eventually that the music will totally take over.
Yeah.
That's the dream.
That's the dream. What about being assigned with anyone? Are you completely independent? Do you plan to continue to be independent? What's that been for you?
Well, that's the $1 million question, I guess, because we're at a point in history in music where, a few years ago, people used to say, oh, you can do it on your own, but you sort of couldn't a few years ago. You still needed help. But I think we're at a point now where you can be independent as a musician. I work with a distribution company who
Okay.
sort of their role is to get the music on Spotify and on Apple and help you market it and things like that. So there's sort of like a label, but it's you're still independent if you
Mm,
like. But yeah, if a record deal came along, would I take it? I don't know. You've got to weigh it up. The money they have to market you versus them taking 50% of everything you own or
yeah.
earn. Sorry, own.
Yeah. You
Yeah,
you definitely the writers, singer-songwriters definitely have more control than they've had in the past with
yeah,
negotiation and setting the terms, and I think that's a good place to be. I think it's a good situation.
yeah. Definitely. I mean, it's brilliant. And the technology has improved now for recording. So not only do you can do it. I mean, everything I record at home.
Hmm.
So I don't need the record company money to go in a studio. Now it's never going to be as good as in a studio with a
Sure,
top
sure.
producer, but you can get halfway there or three-quarters way there yourself. So that allows you to be independent as well. The fact that technology and the fact that Spotify and Apple and all the other they treat everybody equally. I think that's brilliant. Whether you're you know Bruce Springsteen or Bob Dylan or just some guy recording in his bedroom, everybody's treated equally on Spotify and everyone's given a fair chance. And I think that's really good. So yeah, I would say it is possible to be independent. If somebody offered me a record deal, I would seriously consider it.
Yeah, yeah. What
Yeah.
about your writing process? What's that been like for you?
Yeah, I mean, when I was young, the music that I was always interested in was lyrics. I was always lyrically driven and storytelling driven, which is why I was led to Nashville. Um, I always so as I got into music, when everybody else was trying to learn fast solos on the guitar and everything, I was always thinking, but how do they write songs? How are they
Yeah,
connecting with people? That
yeah.
the way that those songs connected with me is I wanted to do with my songs. I wanted to be
Hmm.
able to connect with people as well. So I was always lyrically driven. My process is basically write about what you know, write about things that have happened to me,
Yeah.
yourself or family members, and hopefully then people will identify with them songs. And I tend to start with the lyrics first. Sometimes it comes from a metaphor or a title or a phrase, and then I'll expand upon that, write the lyrics, and then I tend to put the music to the lyrics, if you will.
And do you just let that come out as it pops into your mind, or do you set aside certain days and time to dedicate to writing?
Yeah, I don't set up. I would say that I do. I'm a very bad multitasker.
Yeah.
So I can't say, oh, I'm going to record in the morning, I'm going to market in the afternoon, and then I'm going to write songs at night. If I'm doing something, I'm doing something. So for the last 2 or 3 years, I've been recording, and now I've got sort of 24, 25 songs. So I thought now of spending the time till Christmas, till January, when I go back to recording, I'm now going to give it 12 weeks of trying to write some new material because it's been a while and I'm a bit older and I've changed a bit and you know what I mean.
Mhm.
And I want to reflect where I'm at now in life, really. So I'm going to spend the next 3 months doing my favorite thing, which is writing music, writing songs.
What's one of your favorite songs right now that you're promoting?
I've just actually released today a song called Road Worn, and it's just gone on Spotify and Apple and YouTube today. And so yeah, I quite like that song. It's quite an upbeat, up tempo song. If anyone wants to go and track it down, so it's a song about well, it's a bit of a funny song really, because normally I write quite deep songs, but this is a bit more of a fun sort of rocking track. Um, and it's about basically how we live in a throwaway society where everything is sort of, when it's at its time, it gets thrown away. Whereas previous generations, our parents and that, they used to get things repaired and used to, keep things for ages. And the song is really about how things, when they get old, they still have character and we should cherish them. And yeah, so it plays on all the metaphors and all the things of how we should cherish things when they get old and the best things in life are road worn, which is the chorus.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Do you have any plans to return to the United States?
Yeah, I want to go next year if I can.
Really?
So
Yeah.
I'm currently trying to save up a bit, and I'm trying to make some contacts so that I want to go exactly back where I went last time in Nashville. I stayed at this really nice place. It was like a religious retreat
Oh,
place
neat.
where
Uh-huh.
people went for like business conventions as well. And it was just really nice, called the Scarrett Bennett Center, a bit of a strange name in Nashville. And it was all on the like had beautiful lawns and all really old buildings. And so I'm going to try and stay there again. But yeah, I'm looking to go back next summer and take my newly recorded music with me and bang on some doors and playing some boys again and catch up with all the people who I met because I kept in touch with them, 3 or 4 years ago. We're still in touch. So
Oh,
yeah, have you
good.
been to Nashville yourself?
I went when I was at the radio station. I went on a music trip there and we were
Right.
in downtown, and it was the only time I'd been, and it was a nice little cool town.
Yeah, yeah,
So yeah,
yeah.
very
It's not too
and
big. It's not too big.
no, but they do keep getting more and more attention for being,
Yeah,
music. And before
yeah,
it was
yeah,
just kind of secondary to the
yeah,
whole
yeah,
LA scene, and now they're
yeah.
kind of like
Yeah, and I think
really
it's not just at one point. I think it was just country and blues, but now it's sort of everything. It's becoming like a mecca for songwriters, really.
for sure,
There's
really.
all types of music. When I got there, I thought, well, I'm not really country. I'm a bit worried about not, but they embrace the music and they're
Yeah,
all about the storytelling. They're all about the song in Nashville, and
yeah,
and they wasn't really worried that it wasn't, that I wasn't from them parts, if you know what I mean.
yeah, for sure. Well, thank you so much for sharing. Please come back when you have more music to share, or maybe when you're in Nashville. We'll
Yeah,
go ahead and catch up with you then. That would be cool and fun. Send stuff. We'll play it on Run Radio and tell people
brilliant.
where they can go to get your stuff right now.
Yeah. Well, you want me to tell you, or you're going to tell them?
You go ahead and tell them.
All right. Yeah, you can find me on Spotify, Karl Eland with a Carl with a K, not a C. You can find me on Apple, on YouTube, and all the other music providers. I've also got a website which is carleland.com. And yeah, just if you Google me, something will come up for sure.
Thank you so much, Karl Eland. Be sure you're listening to keep up with more at runradio.net.
Thank you.